Islam, peace, hotel, and welcome. Canaanland Moors is switching up a little bit, doing the Wednesday session today, 22nd of October. We want to give honors to all the Moors out there, you know what I mean, that's been staying true to what's what. Because, oh yeah, big up Sabir Bay for punting the Iron Sheik 5, Moorish Master MC, willofallah.com. If you never checked it or got it yet, just, you know what I mean, it'll be worth it, you know, just say it, right? Um, if your perspective of the Moorish movement is we need unity, you're backpedaling. You're just gonna go backwards, since we're gonna follow up Moorish Heritage and History School class from yesterday into today, right? Just a couple of things, you know what I mean, that we're just gonna put out there, right? So don't be a backpedaler. This is going in one direction, and Allah is guiding it. And if you're not down with it, then sorry, you know what I mean? You're going to get caught up in something that you don't want to get caught up in because it's going down right now. All the ancestors are back, you know what I mean? They're here, walking around, telling people about their birthrights and all that. And people think this is some joke that, corner. We're the guys in the corner with the funny hat. Still, 2014, still, all this Ferguson stuff going on, people still think this is some craziness. We'll put it on the record. King Alfred plan, they're coming to kill niggers and all that stuff. Written down, people have nigger hunting licenses and all that, but nah, they're not paying attention to none of what more is saying. So let those people backpedal, and we're gonna do what we're supposed to do, right? So because today is because I realize a lot of Moors get injured because they follow stupid people. A lot of Moors get injured because they endanger their life with fools because they have feathers on. And, people don't really realize, they don't really get that a fez doesn't make you a Moor. That's like a guy puts on a uniform, calls himself police officer, and start arresting people, giving people tickets. And people are down with that. Like, that's legit. So if you're not going to follow the fake person who's not going to show you, three pieces of identification or to prove who they are, then why are we going to follow these clowns that have a sign that says Moor Science Temple? Oh yeah, go there, and everybody's singing hymns in there, and people are still in there chilling. That's what this is about. So don't endanger your life with fools. And the only people who do that are backpedalers. Moors don't backpedal. Just like we don't dodge questions. Just like we don't, walk up and down the street, you know what I mean, soapboxing about what's people's nationality. Because Drawley said change the literature. Drawley said document something. Write something down. Put something in some type of publication. Oh yeah, and the Islam to Khalifa media, I can't forget. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, one more thing too, before we even get too deep. Before we get too deep. Before we get too deep. Right, make sure you go to Khalifa Media and go get the Moorish jewels, the gem, right? By another one of the active Moors out there, Rami Salam Ill. And then, you got a hip hop Moorish Science Temple because, you got to do something. Drawley said do something, so, do something, right? Not parading up and down the street at LA, California, or whatever like that, putting cameras on people, putting out literature. Because what's going to happen is this is going to get into the hands of the youth. And once the youth get hold of this, well, you don't worry about how come this and how come that. Because they're going to be writing faster than we're writing. You talk about people backpedaling, well, you better start pedaling faster because some of these youths coming up in this right here, they know about nationality birthrights. Right? They know. It's not guessing. You know, Islam to the studious young Moors out there who continue to just, what they're supposed to do. They got Sunday school going on where, it's just only youth there. Right? Because they're waiting on these jokers. They do what they're supposed to do. Drawley said, this is for the young and unborn. And the young and unborn realized that, oh, that's us. Hey, it's our turn. Everybody time to get in the back seat and all that stuff. Oh yeah, Drawley said that too. Yeah, in the back, carry out the law because, you know, generations after, those losers that dropped this big ball. You dropped this big ball. At 500 hands and you dropped the ball. Alexander Pope, an essay on criticism. You might want to go, check that out. Quote, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Some fear quotes. Some fool's quotes. Some endangerment quotes. Because everybody is chilling still, certain fools out there. You still go into certain people to go ask questions and stuff like that and get their opinion. And then caught up in some madness because they gave them their, so-called birth certificate and social. Because they said, if you give us that stuff, then we'll be able to, free you really because, you're not supposed to have that. So what are they doing with it? How come they're still, come proclaim your nationality, but bring all the corporate ID with you because you don't need it. And then they're going to take what they need it for. Just something to think about when somebody asks you for those stuff. Why are they going to take that? And if you go ask those people, prominent people, there's people who are in, certain documentaries and stuff like that who lost house and all that type of stuff, messing with some fraudulent paper stuff, selling stuff, lost property, big. But nobody doesn't like to talk about dirty Moors. Nobody lets them chill. No mayor of steel for dirty Moors. They just chill. The greatest lesson in life is to know that even fools are right sometimes. The greatest lesson in life is to know that even fools are right sometimes. Sometimes. So like brother Omar Bey always says, they gotta lay the truth down first before they start doing their fraud. It's just how much fraud are they gonna pack onto the truth so you don't see what the truth is under all that fraud. So sometimes the fool might drop a jewel or two, you can pick those up, because Allah gives every man his portion for him to do with what he will. And some people don't will to do anything with what Allah gives. So, yeah. But you can pick up some jewels. You better pick those up, pocket them, save them or something. But Winston Churchill, we'll stop here for a second. Because, and this is all just today, just looking up for some stuff for class. Come to find out that Winston Churchill was the first honorary U.S. citizen. Well, yeah, a proclamation and all that. United States Citizen, Declaration of Citizenship. Response by President JFK. JFK. Right. Whereas Sir Winston Churchill, a son of America, though a subject of Britain, has been throughout his life a firm and steadfast friend of the American people and the American nation. Your boy JFK, right? Who they say some guy shot when it was the driver. Go ask Bill Cooper, he'll tell you. Go watch Bill Cooper, he'll tell you. Driver did it. Driver did it so slick. Driver was slick. The driver did it, right? Even last week, Seton Rabe talked about it in his class. The driver did it. You know what I mean? Ebola didn't do it. UDS did it. Understand what's going on. First honorary citizen got his proclamation. Don't forget, Moors got proclamations and things like that. So just to show you that, that's not some secret stuff that they're doing just for Moors. Proclamations are something that so-called governments do. No big deal. Going nuts. You know what I mean? Using that as, the proof of the proclamation. I mean, that's just a reference point, so they know. For adepts, that's proclamation ain't nothing. Everybody gets those. Gay guys get proclamation. Hindu get proclamation. The temple of the underwater guys get proclamation. Not a big deal. But we're just putting it out there, because people like to say, proclamation, government said that, something, something. All right, so the government said. So government said that the first honorary U.S. citizen, which means they just give somebody a blight, just like how people get honorary degree, they never went to the school one day of their life, and they got like 50 honorable degrees or whatever, from all these different universities who, they did their little bucket hat basement stuff, you know what I mean? He gets honored by them. So you're going to go read all that stuff about, proclamation. But what's interesting is Winston Churchill's response to this stuff, right? Proclamation. Okay. Mr. President, I have been informed by Mr. David Bruce that it is your intention to sign a bill conferring upon me honorary citizenship of the United States. Not honorary citizenship of the United States of America, not honorary citizenship of the United States of America Republic, honorary citizenship of the United States, private corporation, European, whatever. So you can see why the driver had to get Kennedy, because, he's supposed to be for the democracy, but he's talking about bringing back gold standard and messing this whole thing up. He wasn't fence riding. Don't get it twisted that he was riding the fence. He was on the side of the constitutionalists. But, as a position that he had, he's in the seat. No different than Barack's in the seat. Certain stuff you might not really, be down with. But he did sign those declarations that nobody else signed. I mean, he did tell you, everybody has a right to the nationality from a United States corporation perspective, jurisdiction. He signed something international, which is, it's not really gonna fly, because that's corporate. What's corporate talking about? Inalienable rights. They don't have any jurisdiction there in that. But maybe they do have jurisdiction, because the United Nations, come to find out, began its life as a result of a secret meeting on board the warship Peace of Wales, which was moored off the coast of Newfoundland in August 1941. The United Nations came from a meeting between Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Winston Churchill. So people like go UN and go do this with the UN and go do that with the UN and get UN's authorization for something. When two Europeans, well, not really two Europeans, go back to Churchill for a second. In Jenny, The Life of Lady Randolph Churchill, Volume 1, Ralph G. Martin wrote that Randolph S. Churchill, in his biography of his father, noted that the mother of Jenny's grandmothers, Clarissa, was one Ann Baker, whose mother's maiden name was not recorded in the genealogies, and is believed to have been an Iroquois Indian. Churchill. Go back to his proclamation now. Churchill talking now, replying to the president. It is a remarkable comment on our affairs that the former prime minister of a great sovereign state should thus be received as an honorary citizen of another. I say great sovereign state with design and emphasis, for I reject the view that Britain and the Commonwealth should now be relegated to a tame and minor role in the world. Our past is the key to our future, which I firmly trust and believe will be no less fertile and glorious. Let no man underrate our energies or potentialities and our abiding power for good. Right, and now we're going to have the big arrows, underline, big quote unquote. I am, as you know, half American by blood, and the story of my association with that mighty and benevolent nation goes back nearly 90 years to the day of my father's marriage. In this century of storm and tragedy, I contemplate with high satisfaction the constant factor of the interwoven and upward progress of our peoples. Churchill talking. So everybody knows about what the jurisdiction is, right? As far as the Americas is concerned. Aboriginal and indigenous, you better be tied to Moors or you don't have any say. You can't say anything. Shut the hell up and keep marching, picketing, whatever. You have no rights. You're not getting anything. You're just going to be sheep getting herded and cattle getting herded. That's all the people are going to be. So stop endangering your life with stupid people who want to be sheep and cattle. First honorary U.S. citizen is part Iroquois. And then the individual who made him honorary citizen was bringing back the gold standard and doing all these enforcing of the constitutional things from that seat of power. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true. The other is to refuse to believe what is true. And that's Soren Kierkegaard. He who hesitates is a damned fool. Mae West. Those who will not reason are bigots. Those who cannot are fools. And those who dare not are slaves. George Gordon Byron. A man who trusts everyone is a fool, and a man who trusts no one is a fool. We are all fools if we live long enough. Robert Jordan. Any fool can criticize, complain, and condemn, and most fools do. But it takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. And that's from Religion, a Dialogue and Other Essays. When we are born, we cry that we are coming into this great stage of fools. King Lear, Shakespeare, people's boy, who wrote the Bible. A fool with a heart and no sense is just as unhappy as a fool with sense and no heart. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Jeez. Fyodor. Dostoyevsky. A learned fool is more a fool than an ignorant fool. Everyone gets scared at times. It's only fools who won't admit it. We fool ourselves so much, we could do it for a living. Fools make feasts, and wise men eat them. There are more fools in the world than there are people. Wise men profit more by fools than fools by wise men. So Noble Ali told the Moors that, we have to honor all true prophets, you know, Buddha, Muhammad, Confucius, etc. Right? So saw this. There's a DVD man that we check out here, right? From Ceylon. We get our blank DVDs from whatever. So go to this man's store, right? Sri Lankan store. Okay, and they have this movie right here, whatever that is. Here's the movie, and these guys in there. Now, we've been checking him, and this is just coming up. Why? Because one day, just coming from the temple, stopped there and had the fez on. And this is 2 weeks ago. This is 2 weeks ago. And he had this as a DVD in the store, like in the front. Like you're seeing this as soon as you walk in. Right? So this is just the show, just like with on the show last night with the call from oh yeah, this is interesting too. So individual calls in, you know what I mean, and he's speaking the language, right? He's speaking the language, right, of the nation of gods and earths. Okay. But he's not talking all that Clarence 13X stuff and all that stuff. He's talking about, he has a earth, a empress, and she's from the Philippines, and he's trying to get her to, get down with Moorish nationality. How come he's not talking about Clarence 13X stuff and all that? He's nation of gods and earths though, but he's talking about his earth, quote unquote earth. She put it on the record herself, is a babe. But earths are nation of gods and earths. So so we have a show that's run by Moors, right? And they teach people about nationality and birthrights. And then somebody calls in from a so-called, black conscious group or whatever, but they're not calling in from the perspective of pushing this idea of the black conscious group that they belong to. They're calling talk about nationality and birthrights. They're the nation of gods and earths. Go ask them. They'll tell you, yeah, we're a nation of gods and earths. They're not going to lie. Why? Because they got nationality. That has nothing to do with anything. My nationality is Moor. And I stutter under Clarence 13X. Like, well, what's the issue? But, they're not going to see that individual as an example and proclaim their nationality. They're going to try to justify some lessons like it's not more science. Right? So just wanted to put that one out there in case people missed it, right? Because I know, Islam, so all the people who, came up as that as their foundation, you know what I mean, and picked it up. But the higher level is that they're talking about nationality and birthrights, not trying to justify their lessons that they got and their degrees that they got. It wasn't even an issue. But by the language, you know that his foundation is not quote unquote Noble Juali, Moor Science Temple. He's a totally different, but it's not different. It's the same stuff. All these people got to do is proclaim their nationality. Stop playing around. Nation of Gods and Earths called into Moorish Heritage and History School show on Blog Talk Radio. to talk about their experience proclaiming their nationality as Moors, not as nation of gods and earth, as Moorish Americans. And then one thing leads to another. That's this movie. Anken. And that's Kemetic. Don't even front, right? Right? We take off the E and just leave the consonants, and we already know. That's Kemetic. It's a movie, it's a Bollywood movie with a name from Kemet. And then they're in the movie with fezzes on. In the movie. They're in the movie with fezzes on. Bollywood movie. You know what Bollywood is? Go Google Bollywood. And they have a Kemetic name for their movie. But they got fezzes on, and people are going to try to deny the fact, that. But it's okay. They're backpedaling. Let them backpedal. They're on their own. Islam to that nation of gods and earths more that called in and put it on the record. We were playing around. Reshape yourself through the power of your will. Those who have conquered themselves live in peace, alike in cold and heat, pleasure and pain, praise and blame. To such people, a clod of dirt, a stone, and gold are the same, because they are impartial, they rise to great heights. The demonic do things they should avoid, and avoid the things they should do. Hypocritical, proud, and arrogant, living in delusion and clinging to their deluded ideas, insatiable in their desires, they pursue unclean ends, bound on all sides by scheming and anxiety, driven by anger and greed, they amass by any means they can a hoard of money for the satisfaction of their cravings. Self-important, obstinate, swept away by the pride of wealth, they ostentatiously perform sacrifices without any regard for their purpose. Egotistical, violent, arrogant, lustful, angry, envious, of everyone they abuse my presence within their own bodies and in the bodies of others. Strive constantly to serve the welfare of the world. By devotion to selfless work, one attains the supreme goal of life. Do your work with the welfare of others always in mind. That's uplifting fallen humanity. That's uplifting fallen humanity, right? And who? Right? Go again. The Lord Krishna, with his turban on, right, with the pineal gland open, and then the jewel, and then the feather, just like someone we know, that we honor and we give high honors to, because he was a mastermind. Mastermind. Brought everything back to us. All these people saying they want to be all types of different stuff, when everything is Moorish. Even in Hindustan, Ceylon, etc. Asia, Asiatics, Moors. This is Lord Krishna. Everybody who's in the East knows him. Everybody. With the turban on. People are joking. Right? So you're listening to Hindustani music, right? Just, because, change up the vibration a little bit or whatever. You like some Nag Champa or something like that, and you go into Hindu zone. You go into Hindustan zone, right? You might even pull out the Vedas and all that, right? You go into Hindu zone, right? You know, you might make the tea, have the cookies, everything. And you just remember that it's Wednesday. Oh yeah, Canaanland Moors today, not yesterday. But you put it on, and we're talking about India and Hindustan, right? That means you're not backpedaling. No backpedaling, no backpedaling or pedaling. This is right the obelisk of the so-called Indians or whatever, right? That they call their worship the animals and all the stuff. But then on the top of it, they got the tall fez Moors on the top of their stuff. Okay, everybody knows what's up. But Negro, black, colored people, they want to march instead of claim their birthright. Look at them, just with more stuff because Moors don't want it. Why do you think the guy with the fez is on top of the damn thing? Why do you think the obelisk has a fez on? A cone fez. Everything's Moorish. Everything. Can't hide. Ain't no hiding. Research Haida people. Haida people. Haida. And you're gonna see people looking like this. Some of these are Moors. Moor means any dark-skinned person, especially African Negro. Any dark-skinned person. Most especially African Negro. But any dark-skinned persons are Moor. Say, oh yeah, they're dirty from building the railroad. No, Moors. Yeah, Moors. Because remember, keep in mind, right? Keep in mind our little friends, right? Everybody knows possible migration routes of early Indians. Everybody knows Indians come from Asia, and that's how they came over here. No, let's go. We'll go with it. Oh, yeah, you're Indians. Okay, cool. You guys are Indians. Well, here's the Indian. Here's how the Indians came to America from the Bering Strait right up here, through Alaska, right? Through Alaska, through Canada, you know, because they were late, very late. Nootka, Nootka. People looking like this. Yep. Any dark-skinned person, especially African Negro, is a Moor. Any, not some, any dark-skinned person is a Moor. Especially the African Negro. Especially that chunk. Especially him playing around. Like he doesn't have birthright. I'm going to put this on the record again so everybody can have, perspectives. Because we want to make sure that put out something and you back it up. Because people like talk about show the evidence and show proof and stuff like that. And all we do is show proof of stuff. And even if we show you proof, we still go check. Because, you know what I mean? I could have photoshopped this and put it, right? Moors is a term that commonly refers to Muslims who who speak Arabic and live in northwestern Africa. Period. This is what these people's book, we don't even care who it is. This is what their book said about Moors. Moors is a term that commonly refers to Muslims who speak Arabic and live in northwestern Africa. Period. Okay? So, Muslims that speak Arabic and live in northwestern Africa. The term also refers to Muslims of Spanish, Jewish, or Turkish descent who live in northern Africa. Period. For people who don't get it. Okay? And again, they use that term again, Muslims. Alright? And then Noble Ali told Moors that what they have to return to Islamism, which is their ancient, old-time religion of their ancient foremothers and forefathers. Which those fakers, Muslims, are using to say they're, the ones, they have a prophet of Muhammad and stuff like that. When there's so much prophets you can't even count. They only found 16 of them that they talk about. Muslims of Arab descent who live in Sri Lanka are also called Moors. So they're all they talk about is that side, right? We already showed you this side, okay? That there's Moors here. Any dark-skinned person, especially African Negroes, Moors. Okay, this is a dark-skinned Haida woman, so she's a Moor. And then the argue talk about to let her go to ancestry.com and check if she's a Moor. She's dark-skinned. She's a Moor. Okay. Right. See, fezzes on Aboriginal people, that's Moors. It's not natives and Indians and Ojibwe and whatever else they want to make up, say that that's the Aboriginal, indigenous, first people of the Americas. They're dark-skinned people. Ain't nobody else. And this is just stuff just online. This is stuff just in books. You just go to the library, flip through books, and you'll see so much fezzes that you want to know why you haven't been on this before. Moro, another form of the word, refers to Muslims again who live in southern Philippines. So keep in mind that before they start talking about what the Europeans say Moors and these people like to talk. Well, the European made up the term Moor. Let's talk stupid like that. We have all these references of Africa, Jewish, Turkish, Northern Africa, Arab, Sri Lanka. We know that those aren't Europeans, but they're identified as Moors. And there's nowhere in there talking about European branded them that. In ancient history, the Romans called the people of northwestern Africa Mori, and the region they lived in, now northern Morocco and western Algeria, Mauritania. These people belonged to a large group of African people called Berbers. Many of the Berbers became Muslims, and they adopted Arabic in addition to their own Berber language. They became known as Moors. So everybody is getting branded with this term Moor outside of the Americas, and everybody in the Americas is getting branded with Negro, Black, Colored, African, something, African, Canadian, this, Jamaican, Trinidadian, Caribbean, West Indian, whatever. But everybody on the other side is getting branded with Moors. The name Moors. And then they're coming over here where the Moors get branded as something else, and then they're coming here and ruling here. Like we talk about. They came here and they have their own little community, right? You got these brothers out there on 125th Street for years, and you have all these different nationalities coming here just getting stores, getting stores, getting stores, store closed down. Somebody else come get it. It ain't no Asiatic. Somebody else come get it. Somebody from some other. Nobody from the Americas. All foreign people coming here proclaiming to be American, which is Moorish, right? They Japanese American, Turkish American, Chinese American. They're saying they're Moors to be over here. And that's why Europeans say, American. Because, who they hold up? They hold up, Winston Churchill and those people. He said he's American. But he actually had indigenous culture in him. He was tied to us. That's how he had jurisdiction. Because he's in Britain. What the hell is he doing over here talking to Kennedy and all this type of stuff? Oh, the jurisdiction made him honorary. Same thing again. Guy took the seat, told him more. Found out that you got more, come on over. We're going to make you an honorary citizen so you can, just do the. Right? Everybody is taking the position of being a Moor. Don't be fooled, all these Europeans that denounce their U.S. citizenship and they proclaim that they're Swedish, Irish, or whatever, that they don't have some Moorish head on their crest that their name's on. Everybody's trying to be Moors right now, except these particular people will identify them as Negro, black, colored people. Conscious too. Know their self. You use shea butter and you got dashikis, kufis. They got pictures in their house. All over their house they got artifacts of ancient Kemet, ancient whatever. But they got license, says John. Trying to talk about they got something. They're conscious. They're not talking about dead people. They're talking about people who know history. They got libraries at their house or whatever. Everybody else, this is just some book. Just some book. Just a book just on a shelf that I just pulled off. This is in the library. Right? School library on top of that. Same school that people, dumb down. Right? But in the library, nobody goes in there except the Asiatics, Hindustani, Sri Lankans, Chinese, or whatever, or they're in the library. Lunchtime, they will eat. Imagine that. Imagine you're so disciplined that you go to school, right? This is the Asiatics, right? This is their pattern. Right? School starts 8:45, right? The Asiatics, the Asiatics outside of North America, they're at school like 7:45, 8 o'clock. They're at school. Sit down in front of their locker doing whatever work or whatever they got to do. 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Go class, lunch. They have their little tin with rice and a slab of whatever every day. Every day. Same tin, rice, slab of whatever. Bam, 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 bam. Library. Right, hour lunch. They might eat in about, I give them 10 minutes that they eat. Or they'll stay at the locker and eat lunch. I do their work. Right? But guess what? The Asiatics do. It's boring. There's some that are, on that level too. But that's because, they're friends with the Asiatics who are on the study. Right? The grade 10 or whatever talk about which university they're going to go to. That they know they're going there and what they're going to take, and that when they get whatever, they're going back where they came from. go build up whatever, wherever they came from. Not staying here. This is 15, 16-year-olds or whatever. Tell all of them, make sure you go and be friends with that guy. Most all these knuckleheads around here. That's going nowhere. Fast. You better do something with your brain. You need to see the features that you know, these are a little bit more modern, right? A little more modern, but how come everybody's wearing bandana? You know? Or are they really, exercising that Moorish culture? You already know headband is the Moors. Yeah, even the basketball ones, yep, the Moors. So I don't see everybody wearing them. Certain people wear them. Certain people who wore fezzes and stuff like that, they always had headbands. I wonder why. Go to certain people's birthday party and dress up like Moors for their birthday party. They always got a headband. Everybody. Either fronting to be Moors, like, so-called Mason, whoever like that, pretending, or they realize what's up and they're like, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to get down with this Moorish thing. Forget it. Right? Hopi girl wearing the elaborately coiled squash blossom hairdo. The squash blossom hairdo. Right? Everybody wants to be Moors. We're not Princess Leia up in Star Wars with a Moorish hairstyle. Aboriginal indigenous hairstyle. Even the middle part and everything. There's the middle part, and there's the middle part. They even jacked the part, even. They didn't even hide it. Everybody seen Star Wars. Nobody knew this was Aboriginal indigenous culture. They even paying attention to it. Everybody's watching Chewbacca and Han Solo and shit. Not even recognize that. Pocahontas and the goddamn thing too. Know what they're doing. Been telling us. The Europeans stole our information, they're hiding all our stuff because, they're trying to take over the world, Illuminati, government conspiracy and whatever. Shut up, fool. They're giving you your stuff. You don't want it. Don't come and tell me about nobody's doing nothing to you. You're doing it to yourself. And tell them that too. Let them know. They're doing it to themselves. They're failing themselves. Nobody's school and the teachers failing nobody. Because trust me, right? My vibe, right? My vibe in the so-called, school board, everybody says I'm an agent and whatever. They respect my position. Don't think because, I get a check and whatever like that. Like I have school locked. Any school that I go to, I have it locked. Because every single one of those youths have my back. Sri Lankan, Hindustani, Turkish, Iran, whoever. Why? Because when all of them build, all of them ask me, are you Rastafarian? And they want to talk Jamaican to me and stuff like that. I ain't Jamaican. I'm Moor. I'm not Jamaican. What's Jamaican? You want to tell me what a guan and stuff like that. Right? And then when I show them what I know, that I know about Zoroaster and all that stuff there, you guys, let me see go in your shirt, pull out your pendant. I know you got a pendant of Zoroaster. Just don't even play around that you don't got no pendant of Zoroaster. And they pull out their pendant or whatever. So you playing around, running around with these clowns. You know what I mean? Right? Have it all locked. And they know what's up. Right? When they say Asiatics, when we hear Moors talk about Asiatics, right? We're talking about the world. Everybody's down with Moors, except Negro, black, colored people in North America. Everybody is down with Moors. Everybody's down with Moors. Mary Hazelton Wade. Mary Hazelton Wade. A little Turkish cousin about Osman, the first founder. Hold on a second. If this is about Osman, he's called Turkish. How come he's called Turkish when Turkey was after the Ottoman Empire? Oh, and he has a Fezan too. And then in the back, you see all the dome stuff, you know, the quote-unquote Muslim. Oh, yeah, and then there's the veiled face and all that. You know, remember what they said? Keep in mind, right? Keep in mind, Moors is a term that commonly referred to Muslims who speak Arabic, living in the term refers to Muslims of Spanish, Muslims of Arabs, Sri Lanka, Moors, Moro, Muslims, Philippines. Everybody knows. Since, you know, it's the Moors joined the Arabs. Okay. Now, the Moors joined the Arabs. But up here, they were saying that Muslims of Arab descent are called Moors in Sri Lanka. So Muslims of Arab descent are called Moors in Sri Lanka. But then down here, they're saying that the Moors joined the Arabs. Everybody's playing with these people. And all they got coming, right? This is all they got coming. That's all they got coming. Playing around. They want to be Moors? Okay. This is the other option. It's be Moors or this. That's what it's about. It's either you proclaim your nationality or this is what you're facing. The point of a sword or a gun barrel, whichever one comes first. They might have double because, you know, make sure you go do your research that they went and got the bayonets. So they got bayonets. Local, municipal, whatever. This is municipal, whoever they got in fatigues and stuff like that. And tell you that there's a riot gear. There's not no riot gear. That's military. And we could talk how we're talking because, you know, I got nationality. They could kill me. At least I'm dying no more. I'll die no Negro to these people. This is divine and national. Ancestors know that I'm down with this. This is what they got coming. They think that is some kind of joke out here when we say proclaim your nationality. People want to debate about stupid shit. When they have freaking, right now they got martial law going on. Right now. Martial law is going on. Right now. That everybody told the conspiracy theorist people, oh yeah, that'll never happen. We wouldn't let that happen to our country and all this crap. Yeah, right. It's on right now if you don't have a nationality. So you keep playing. You know, Osman again with the, you know, you already know the lips already. So that's not no European. Right? And then look at her complexion. Okay. Oh, she's in the shadow. Oh, stop talking crap. Right? He grew up with a maid that was a Moor. He still has his fez on. And remember, this is Turkish, but it's before the Turkish Empire and Turkey and all that. Right? Look at the complexions. Right? Why you want to be Moors? What she's wearing, her outfit, Moors. Everybody's game, except Negro, black, colored people. Okay, they shall be buried. Nobody really told the Moors, you've been here. Been here. Imagine you are a European explorer, sent by your country across the ocean in search of the legendary treasures of the New World, North America. At journey's end, you proudly plant your nation's flag and boldly claim the land as yours, only to be greeted by a group of people who seem to be saying, "And who are you?" For North America was hardly a new world. Before Europeans arrived, it had been settled for at least 30,000 years, and it wasn't exactly up for grabs. It was already a home. It's a book in the library. I mean, nothing to even reference. It's such a nothing book talking about, there's been a group of people here 30,000 years before Columbus, they've been here. I'm going to put something else on the record. I'm going to go to the Islam to Brother Richard Edwards L. Go to the Mukarrabin files. And this is from Black Muslims to Muslims. From Black Muslims to Muslims. It's the name of the book. And this is the page of Chapter 3, the Moorish Science Temple. Notice there's no ink on there. Just say the Moorish Science Temple. Fard Muhammad studied Noble Drew Ali's approach to introduce the Quran to the black community. Professor Fard introduced the whole text of the Quran in the very inception of the Nation of Islam. To introduce it, he had to put it in the package of Noble Drew Ali. Imam Wallace D. Muhammad, Chief Minister, World Community of Al-Islam in the West. That was a quote. The Nation of Islam evolved from the Moorish organization founded by Timothy Drew, who was born in North Carolina, 1886. Drew was a semi-literate migrant to Newark, New Jersey, who worked as a train expressman before starting the first Moorish Science Temple there in 1913. Drew came upon two revelations which radically influenced his thinking. He encountered some forms of Oriental philosophy and was impressed with its racial Catholicity. According to the legend of the movement, Timothy Drew made a pilgrimage to North Africa, where he received a commission from the King of Morocco to teach Islam to the Negroes in the United States. Drew had to pass a test to prove he was the prophet of Allah. The test involved the pyramids of Egypt, in which Drew was allegedly released inside and had to find his way out. Drew mastered the pyramids, and they knew he was the prophet. He came back to the temple in New Jersey in 1913. Timothy Drew changed his name to Noble Drew Ali and began to spread his doctrine in basements, empty lots, and street corners of Newark, New Jersey. Noble Drew Ali had very little formal education, but a certain magnetic charm, a sincerity of purpose, and a real determination to lead his people out of the difficulties of racial prejudice and discrimination brought him followers. Nationality. Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association and Drew Ali's Moorish Science Temple flourished about the same time. Though Garvey had many more followers than Ali, Garvey started the UNIA in Jamaica in 1914 and founded a branch in Harlem in 1916. Members of the Moorish Science Temple believed that Marcus Garvey was a forerunner to plant the seed in the people and prepare them to be received by Noble Drew Ali. Unlike Garvey, however, Drew Ali did not call for immigration to Africa. Drew Ali's nationalism was purely psychological. Noble Drew Ali and his followers sought a psychic escape by changing their names and the symbols of their culture. They hoped to change their social fortunes. Drew Ali advocated that true emancipation would come through knowledge of black Americans' African heritage and by becoming Muslims. He also felt that Christianity was for Europeans and Islam was for people of African descent. Peace on earth was not possible, according to Ali, until each racial group had its own true religion. Noble Drew Ali advocated that individuals must know themselves and their nationality before they can know Allah. Put that one out again. Noble Drew Ali advocated that individuals must know themselves and their nationality before they can know Allah. Drew Ali founded the Moor Science Temple upon the idea that African Americans are Asiatics, specifically Moors, whose ancestors had come from Morocco. Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Drew Ali also taught his members to believe that when a star and crescent moon were seen in the sky, this beckoned the arrival of the day of the Asiatics and the destruction of the Europeans. And everybody knows we already saw the crescent. Everybody remember the big crescent that we saw already. We got pictures of it and all that. Prophecy manifested, prophecy fulfilled. This is not a joke thing. The crescent was in the sky. All right? People want to play with this. Noble Drew Ali's doctrine inspired Fard Muhammad to create similar value systems for the Nation of Islam. During an interview with Imam Wallace D. Muhammad, he explained how Fard Muhammad taught members of the Nation of Islam that we were black Asiatics, and that's what Drew Ali taught his people. Fard taught us we were descendants from a great Islamic kingdom, and Drew Ali taught his people the same. Drew Ali taught that people of African descent were subjugated to white domination because they used names like colored black or Ethiopian. Noble Drew Ali provided African Americans with a new national origin that made them part of the far-flung Moorish nation that had somehow made its way to North America. Noble Drew Ali's philosophy was published in his 64-page Holy Quran, a pamphlet consisting of principles from the Islamic Quran, the Christian Bible, some of Marcus Garvey's African nationalist ideas, and Drew Ali's own historical interpretations. The Holy Quran is regarded as the book to be read only by his followers. The Holy Quran proclaimed that Noble Drew Ali was a prophet, ordained by Allah to carry the message of Islam to the people of African descent in America. Membership in Ali's Moor Science Temple was restricted to Asiatics only, by which he meant any person who is not Caucasian. Moorish Americans, however, were overwhelmingly comprised of black people. Rituals and practices. When attending services in the temple, men and women are segregated. Men are allowed to wear beards, and when not attending official functions, they may dress casually. The fruit of Islam uniforms in the Nation of Islam are fashioned after the Moorish Americans. The dress Fard Muhammad originally gave male members of the fruit of Islam is the same dress Drew Ali's people had. Organization comparisons between Moor Science Temple and Nation of Islam. Nationality: Moor Science Temple, Moorish Americans. Nation of Islam, Asiatic black. Prophet: Noble Drew Ali. Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad. Religion: Islam. Religion: Islam. Land: no desire for a separate state. Psychological separation through Moorish status. Nation of Islam, separate state. God, Allah. Nation of Islam, Allah in the form of Prophet Muhammad. Race, Asiatics. Nation of Islam, Asiatic blacks. Heaven, Moor Science Temple, in the mind. Nation of Islam, on earth. Names, Bay, L. Nation of Islam, X. Replace slave name because real name unknown. Dress, men wear fez. Men, fez worn during official functions, beards and mustaches allowed, suit and tie optional. Women, turbans optional. No makeup, pants, long dresses to shoe tops. Nation of Islam, men, suit and ties, clean shaven. Women, head covering, no makeup, long dresses to shoe tops. And that's New Caribbean Files. And tell the Moors, go to the temple, right? And should have it there. If you don't have it there, then you gotta question some stuff. Because it should be there. I mean, you know, Richard R. Edwards Ill, Moore put that out, so, you know, just like Rami Salam Ill's book. You should go to any temple and they should have that book on stock. That you can just go get it. If they don't have it, then you already know that, you know, somebody's trying to play around with your birthrights. That's really your birthright. So there are some questions. I'm just going to hit up some questions. Got an hour. See what is good. So, first question. When establishing your appellation, is it necessary that I have a so-called middle name / title? We'll just put it as, just like birthrights, appellation's yours. So you have 50 names, you could have, you know, 2,900 letter name like Sri Lankan, whatever you want. It's up to you. It's your name. Just make sure that, you know, you have Ellerbe attached to that. You know, Albe, you know, Ali, you know, it's kind of touchy because, you know, you want to use Ali, you better know how to do some stuff. You better know how to go do Blue Easters and come back and stuff like that. You know, if you don't know how to do that, then don't call yourself Ali. You know, that's special name. You don't want to injure yourself before you even start. You know what I mean? Whatever. So, as far as the appellation, that's your business. It's your nationality and birthrights. And you have the right to change, correct, you know, amend whatever your nationality, whatever you know, you get the jolt. Next question. When having interactions with policy enforcers, to avoid unnecessary verbal or physical contact, should I keep the officer's oath in my car stating that she swears to uphold the Constitution and make sure that said officer realizes where him and I lay in the constitutional folds of government? All right. So if you call him a policy officer, enforcer, and then you talk about him as an officer and having an oath, then, you know, you just kind of trumped yourself. You know, you lost yourself the whole game because you just gave him the authority to kick your ass because you called him an officer. So now that he's kicking your ass, now, you know, we're going to talk about constitutional stuff and being violated and, you know, all that stuff. The real deal, okay, this is what me personally, right? Except for the one time when I got, you know, when they jacked me up, right? But they didn't really do nothing. They just, you know, got me off the public roadway because, you know, I'm private. But we're private, right? And then, you know, the roadways there jurisdiction based on the fraud of the city and whatever. That, you know, they created because Dirty Moors dropped the ball, so now we have to suffer, right? So don't get mad at policy enforcers. Get mad at Dirty Moors who didn't do what they were supposed to do since 1913 when Noble Drew Ali set this all up. You know, we just showed you they wanted to be NOI, they wanted to be all this other crap instead of teaching you about your birthrights. And now we're complaining about policy officers, enforcers, highwaymen, whatever you want to call them, complaining about them and letting Dirty Moors hop, skip, and jump around the place, you know, and chilling, making videos, and selling books and going on record deal stuff and all that, right? You cannot identify the fraud with legitimate titles and expect to beat them. You cannot give the highwayman, the mercenaries, right? That's why, you know, we don't even say policy enforcer, because you can't enforce a policy. Like, a policy is notwithstanding, so it's not enforceable, right? So we'll call them as they are: mercenaries, kidnappers, highwaymen, you know, whatever stuff that you could, inquisitionists, colonists, but don't tie them being enforcers of anything to them anymore. You just start there, right? But what I was saying was, we used to do purple flame ritual, right? It was when we were on the metaphysics and whatever. Nobody had licenses and nobody had, you know, everybody's plates were expired. This is before more science, right? Nobody had insurance, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you're not getting no 600 for no insurance. Ownership, well, they're telling me I gotta pay these 800 tickets or whatever before I get sticker and all that stuff. How about, you know, we just go around, jack other people's sticker. You know, stickers just sitting on their car. If their stuff's legit, they could just go get a new sticker. No big deal, right? Put the sticker on and just go. You know, if you get stopped, you know, make up something or whatever, hope, you know, whatever. So he said, you know what? We're metaphysicians or whatever. Let's make up a ritual, right? So that we don't get stopped. You know what I mean? So we made up purple flame ritual, right? So purple flame ritual is basically, you know, you go in there, before you even put on the engine or whatever, you know, do your breathing, you know what I mean? Do your stuff. And, you know, it's not no 8 hours of breathing, you know what I mean? You're going somewhere, right? So, you know, you breathe, you know, clear your mind, whatever like that. And you just engulf everything that has to do with you and whatever in purple flames, right? And then, you know, as you're traveling, you're visualizing, you know, the purple flames from the tires on the street and whatever. And then, you know, we never got stopped for years doing that. There's probably brothers still doing that right now just because it was something real that we did. You know what I mean? So, you know, create something to keep these people off you. Because, you know, remember, they lost their power. They don't have any power like they used to have. You know what I mean? Their scanner and stuff doesn't even work and all that right now really good. So, you know, once you're not doing anything crazy, like, you know, you got, you know, 5 blunts, you know what I mean, and open bottle, you know what I mean, crossing lanes and stuff like that, you know, purple flame ain't gonna protect you doing madness. You better be, you know what I mean, honoring the ancestors, right? So make up something, do some ritual, because, you know, we're scientists. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, do some studying on rituals, whatever, because you don't want to do nothing crazy and call all this stuff to yourself, then blame Cujo said do rituals, and then I did a ritual, and, you know, my life's been hell ever since I did this ritual. It's not my fault. You didn't know what you were doing. You're premature, right? Go study the stuff first, and then, right? Now, it is a good idea, you know, to have something on you, right? You know, what we used to do is we would have a form that they would have to fill out. So just like anytime they come ask a question, this is like in the dead state. This is not even as Moors. You know what I mean? This is the dead state. You know, same thing, purple flame rituals or whatever. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't work. You might get jack once in a while. Okay, we had a form that we used to give. You know, but we know people who were popo. You know what I mean? And they would tell us, yeah, if they come stop you, whatever, just ask for this, it's section whatever in the book or whatever, and we would just do those stuff. People who were superintendent and stuff like that. We have their card. Call your call your superintendent, buddy. You can't stop me. I know your boss. Those ones with no license, no nothing. We're exercising right to travel. You know what I mean? But it's good to have something to give them. So you have them, and most of the times if you're no, being forceful or nothing, remember intelligent tone and all that, right? Um, Giving them something most times could kind of balance out the energy because they really don't want to fill out nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, so-called, not even so-called, um, Europeans who study Moorish science, as far as the civics perspective and jurisdiction, they engage those people, and when they post those stuff online, you'll see he's like way down there, you know what I mean, and they're like kind of yelling at him to come do stuff, give me this, give me that, you know what I mean. It's never like the up in their face like how they deal with us, you know. But once you have something, if you have something, yes, it's a good idea. Have something, but remember, if you got right to travel card from somebody who's constitutional, civic minded, the card itself, right, would be the thing that you're giving them to let them know where you stand with regard to constitutional fold of government and whatever like that, you know. So yeah, write the travel card, and then on top of the right travel card, something else to give them to fill out. They put their whatever you want to put on it for them to fill out, but make sure you have your flag, whatever, at the top of it, so you're not looking like loose cannon just trying to do something smart, because they beat up people who try to be smart with them. Don't be smart, right? Um, the second part of the question: now that I've been so immersed into law studies, I realize that county officials are extremely low in the totem pole, and Moorish law and zodiac constitutions are protected directly by Congress, executive, and Supreme Court branches. Not sure where you're going with that, but just to add on, there's no such thing as county officials because they've been bankrupt since whatever. So the only officials are the Moors. And in order to be a Moor that's official, you have to be supremely and absolutely confident and competent in civics and constitutional law. That's the prerequisite, right? As far as, because you dealing with them in any, regardless of the subject matter that you're dealing with them in or about. Once you're dealing with somebody who isn't Asiatic, that's diversity of citizenship, and they automatically don't have jurisdiction in anything going on, right? There's no Congress. Congress done solo. There's no UN. I told you, Roosevelt and Churchill founded that. Okay? Supreme Court, there's not even that, because all those are tied to the United States, and all those guys sold their seat long time ago. Criminals took over, and now they're trying to undermine everything. But the one thing that they didn't rely on was Moors waking up. They didn't think Moors were going to wake up. That's why they moved so cocky with the democracy. And now they're trapped because Moors are waking up, which means we're the real officials, and they're not. But they've been going around the world making deals with people doing trees, go have the secret meeting or whatever like that, and they don't have any jurisdiction to do those stuff, right? And that's why we always talk about that. You know, they buy their allies and they buy their whatever it is that they have. You know, everything's under the table because they're running a fraud. Because we're the real officials here. Drawley told us that. That's why we're sheiks and governors and whatever. Because we're officials. But again, you know, the 50 hand guy who dropped the ball, always dropping stuff. So don't talk about no county officials and Congress, executive branches of government. All that stuff dissolved since 33. Nothing to even talk about. If you're going to talk about Supreme Court and executive, Congress, and county officials, whatever, go to those temples where people are playing around, naturalizing people and whatever. And get them to start doing what they're supposed to do, stop playing around with people's birthright. Because that's the real officials of this side, especially North America. Forget Mexico, all that other stuff. They already got their officials down there who know what's up. They already said we don't want nothing from democracy and all that. Went back, nationalized everything, land, resources, mines, businesses, whatever. And said we don't want nothing. Oh yeah, our water's brown, it's okay. We'll deal with our brown water before we deal with any relations with you criminals. Right? Those are the officials in North America. These so-called temple heads that are trying to get you to think that the temple is the government when, no, it's not the temple, it's the government. It's the heads of the temple are the government officials of the nation, and they're playing around like those aren't consulates. And yeah, they're supposed to have schools and whatever else, but those are who's supposed to be handling your affairs. Now, again, Mukarabin files, they have the minutes from the convention. They have the minutes from the convention where Oscar the priest was there, made his speech, and said that it's because of the Moorish Americans why I won the stuff. But you know, you have to be insider to get that. That's not no outside info that you're gonna go read in some book that all these so-called governors, senators, whatever. The same convention with the picture on the stairs or whatever like that, and the guy over here that looks like Taj Creek Bay. That same convention, the only thing the people on the stairs only, there's people inside too and all that. You know, everybody can't be in the photo op, but remember when you go watch the Jabbar classes, he has the other convention picture, the panoramic convention picture with Elijah Muhammad in it, and Garvey and all these people. Documented fact that you can't find that picture. It's online, but you know it's too small. You blow that up, you can't make out nobody's face. You could only make out Elijah Muhammad's big head. That's the only reason we know it's him. Otherwise, it's just a blur, just a blur. And when we supremely ready in our hearts and minds to represent our proper person any and everywhere, how can we get those beautiful plates for our cars? First of all, those aren't cars. So if you're going to take a plate and put it on a car, then that means you're registering whatever like that, because you know we don't do plates unless we're registering back into the fraud again. So again, don't worry about right to travel, whatever. That's why these clowns, these dirty Moors, are gonna have people think that Brother Taj is endorsing license plates and licenses in that thing. Taj endorses DMV. You're not endorsing no DMV. We tell you, people are stupid. So you better keep your license for right now, because you're gonna go try some right to travel, get your ass kicked, and then blame Moors who gave you information. When it's not the person that gave you the information, is that you're dumbass going out there. People have guns or whatever. They got battering rams. They got whatever they got. And you're going to play with them like they're not colonists and mercenaries and inquisitionists. Andrew Ali said, intelligent tone. And tone is not only verbal. So, there ain't no such thing as cars that's going to have any Moorish anything on it. There ain't no such thing as plate that's going to be a Moorish whatever. Hold on to the stuff, right? Hold on to the stuff. If you have their stuff right now, hold on to their stuff. You know, because you're gonna have to take some for the team because Dirty Moore's messed it up for everybody. So, you're gonna take some for the team. Sorry, but you're gonna take some for the team. Some people are gonna have to, keep the license, keep the whatever for a little bit longer, because if you're talking about going out there and right to travel and all that, you better be super tight with what you're doing. You better be super tight, or just like you're saying, they'll kidnap you every single time they see you. They'll know you're coming before you even start coming because they already got your chart and all that stuff from this birth certificate, and then you didn't go and do a natal chart and read that into the ethers to cancel their fraud that they did with the birth certificate. So you're going on as a Moor without anything that you put in the ethers to cancel their fraud that they hijacked from the ethers to have control over us. And we want to exercise right to travel and stuff like that. Like, this is divine and national for a reason. This is not come join and get a card and now that's not what this is. This is real. You got not seeing people getting 20 years and stuff like that because they slipped accidentally. Accidental slip get you 20 years. Accidental slip. Just because that one T that you didn't cross came back and messed up your whole stuff. We're not saying no right to travel and we're scared to exercise. That's not what it's about. It's about we need people outside of the freaking penitentiary or whatever, county jail, detention center. We don't need nobody in there that says that they're Moors. If you're Moor, we need you out here. We need you free to be able to go tell somebody else or make a video or show your experience or whatever. So we could try to kind of convince these people to get down with their nationality and birthrights for real, because this is all that they got. They don't have anything else, right? So we need you out here. So don't think that we're punking out from putting on plates and whatever like that and going and right to travel. That's not what it is. You know what I mean? We're trying to get people to be careful because this is not the time of, you see when you see the old Taj videos, you know what I mean, with the braids and stuff like that. Those times, when Sabir had his beard and all that type of stuff, those times there were times that you try stuff out. Right now, it's not try stuff out if you don't know what the hell you're doing. These people are going to try to take your head and take all your property. And, you'll be mad after. Because you went and did something premature. Don't do premature stuff. It's not try stuff out. You must be what you know. Right? Just like the Moor said, put the flag on the stuff. People come and tell me take down my flag. Everybody, you look down the street, people got flags. No, but no one's not going to stop them, tell them take down nothing. They want me to take down my stuff. Right? And if he didn't defend it, next thing they would have been a cross burning on the stuff, for sure. Just because. Just because. When the Moors start coming around, waking up, nobody don't want Moors around. You know what I mean? You don't want Moors around. You know what Moors do? Moors destroy systems that are anti-nature. Destroy them. They don't have any place to be around Moors. They want to survive around Moors. Right? Next question, or question. Um, First question. What does it mean to be sovereign? All right. So for that, what you do, you can go Etymonline, ETYMONLINE.com. That's the online etymology dictionary. You know, it's kind of bridged, but if you don't have a etymology dictionary, that'll at least get you, you know, a little information that you can kind of, you know, do some more research on. So you're gonna go on and check that, because you know we could just, you know, read or whatever and show you, but you know when you read it for yourself, you take ownership of it, and because it's your birthright. Same thing like people go and trying stuff. It's not trying stuff. It's you have to know. So yeah, we can say, we can break down, we can give examples, references, whatever. Until you ingest that stuff, it's just it's just you know it's just contents. And this can't just be contents. Just, you know, yeah, just put stuff in the mind and it's just in there. This has to be, you're putting stuff in the mind so that you can do something with it, right? Because something, like when like, okay, for example, like the next one, right? And what does calling someone white really mean, right? Same thing. Because when you check white, it's going to tell you about, you know, the same perspective like if you check black or purple or orange or whatever, right? You know, so that would be what it is when you put white in etymology online and it tells you what white is. That's what it is. From closer than going to a dictionary that, you know, just sitting there at your house, you know, pocket dictionary, and then looking at that and saying what white is. They'll tell you that it means European race or whatever like that. You don't want that. You want, you know, parts of speech and you know what language did this word originated and things like that. So same thing. And then, you know, with regard to the question, what does calling someone white really mean? And then when you get the definition, then you put it in the and ask that question again. And then you'll see how asinine people sound when they say white people, black people, and whatever like that. Right? And again, same thing with the other question. I don't think that they're, you know, bad questions or nothing. We're just gonna tell you go do some research, so that way it's yours. Feel better. You feel better about it after you find out what you find out about what you're asking about. In regard to the Canaanites, you could, you know, you can do a little stop here, get yourself your Quran, there's a little stuff in there, right? Um, or you can also get yourself a metaphysical Bible dictionary. Every Moorish American should have that. The metaphysical Bible dictionary should have that. Just like you have all the other dictionaries, you need that one. That one there is a good piece to have. Um, Also, I've noticed a number of Moors who seem to be under the impression that their proclamations are something to be filled out and printed, and that they can commission someone other than their own self to create writs for them. Could you please address and explain the importance of writing one's own affidavits and writs? Okay, to keep it as simple, as possible. Um, from a from a higher thinking perspective, when you write, that's spelling, and spelling is spells or witchcraft, voodoo, right? So you have to same thing with looking up sovereign, looking up white. You have to be involved in this process, right? That's another reason why people will probably get their stuff, whatever, messed up, because they don't really get their hands dirty. You know what I mean? Because it seems like a lot, and you know what I mean. But everything is hard before it's easy. Ain't no big deal. Just like whatever else, put some time in. You know, you don't have to really go research. Because you can go to Moorish Nation Public Record. They got writs there for days that you could use as a reference point to learn how to write writs. You know what I mean? To learn how to write writs, not learn how to. Oh yeah, we just download and then change the name and then just print it out and send it out because yeah, yes, I wrote a writ. No, that's not writing nothing. That's copying, pasting. That's different. What you really should be doing before you even type it, put it to pen and paper, right? And then do your research on the metaphysics of ink and different colors of ink and different kinds of ink and what did they used to write with certain stuff for. You know what I mean? You know the what kind of ink they using to hang that guy. What type of ink are they using to write up this treaty? What type of ink are they using to whatever? What color ink? You know what I mean? And then just like the purple flame, just create your ritual. And once you have your ritual, then you write writs. And you realize that start writing writs and some rituals in there, people aren't even stopping your stuff. They'll actually yield to you. Because remember, they know. It's not secret to them, right? They got us doing the go on a computer, type stuff up or whatever. But the people who are in the secret chambers, they write. They write. They got so much pens. There's a little thing like this with just pens in there. They write all different colors. Just go check some when you go to certain people's offices or whatever. Just ask yourself, why do they have that thing right there with all those pens in there? It's way deeper than what people think it is. Way deeper. Right? Okay. Unfortunately, I got in a red light photo ticket. Right now, first thing, every single thing that we get from those people that's put on your car or because I'm saying car because obviously you have a license, whatever, motor vehicle ownership, whatever, right? We're talking about the corporate jurisdiction right now. So if you get a red light, whatever, fight all those. Fight all those because their money making scheme is people don't fight those. Even the little ones, right? Just like Brother Omar was talking about his few classes ago, right? That he got, $50 or something like that. End up, went to court as, straw. Went to court as straw. You know what I mean? Whatever, stated his case, asked certain questions or whatever like that. And then eventually he gets out having paid nothing. Or like 10% or something like that. Right? Now, only saying that because, you know, if um, you're of the mentality that you're a Moor, then these things are trying, because you know that they don't have jurisdiction to do certain stuff, but they do it anyways, right? And it's because the 50-hand guy that dropped the ball, right? That one ball that he dropped messed it up for generations. Not just lost the pennant or lost the World Series. You lost World Series for generations just because that guy dropped that one ball, right? So use situations. If you're new and you're coming into this, right? Don't create situations to try this out or whatever. Use situations that you already have as the punching bag, right? Okay. Use situations. So with the case of, you know, you got the red light thing, and then they got the thing, and then they give you penalty because, you know, you didn't pay or whatever, right? You know what I mean? And you have the finance to do it, you know, but, you know, why should I do it? I'm a Moor. Like, why should I pay these guys for it? Even if you got a license and whatever like that. Why should you even pay? All right? If you're in that mentality, all right, then, you know, get a little deeper into your study. And realize that the, the, the fact that we're under occupation, right? The fact that we're under occupation doesn't take away from the fact that you have a right to challenge whatever it is that, because remember, straw's not you. So you have a right to challenge anything that comes for the straw name that you have been fraudulently calling yourself for the past however long you've been alive, right? When you have the mentality that I'm a Moor, why should I even or whatever like that? Don't why should I whatever and ignore. Send them a writ, right? Writ of discovery, asking them, you know, justify, you know what I mean, their position, show something to prove who they are, you know, because, you know, $75 ticket or whatever, that ain't nothing. And, you know, if there's a, you know, risk of jail time if you don't deal with it or whatever like that, then, you know, if you got that ticket as a nigger, then deal with it as a nigger, and then after that, then go do your, you know, Moorish, whatever. You know. But don't be nigger stuff, then get caught doing nigger stuff, and then try to do more to try to get out of the nigger stuff. Because, you know, being a nigger, being a fool, right, leaves you open, right? You're not protected, you know, just like Zodiac Constitution doesn't protect criminality. You know, you can't say you're a Moor but you're doing criminal stuff under the Zodiac Constitution, because you're gonna get some stuff that you don't want, right? You're definitely gonna get some stuff that you don't want, right? Now, again, if your mentality is I'm a Moor, and you don't have nationality card, paperwork, whatever to prove that, right? If the situation is something where you can write a writ, where you don't have to show anything, you could sign the bottom in your free national name and, you know, demand a response from them, right? And it's not anything where, you know, your livelihood is at risk, your freedom is at risk, or whatever like that, then yeah, push back. I mean, if you have nothing to lose, just, you know, small stuff, you know, credit card or something like that, yeah, push back. Test it out on that stuff. Don't be going into no tribunal that you assume, it's a court. So as soon as I get this thing, I'm going to go in there in this court and I'm going to tell them that, they don't have jurisdiction and you got my writs and whatever like that. That ain't no court. That's a tribunal. That's an administrative jurisdiction fronting to be a court. And if they're not a court and they're giving people jail time, whatever, they're supreme criminals. And I wouldn't want to be playing around with those people, especially talk about nationality and birthrights, because you already do the research, Spanish Inquisition, Papal Edict 1511, find Moors practicing any type of Islam after they said that they're Moriscos, behead them and stuff like that. Salem witch trials, Niagara riots, Move 9, Black Wall Street. You know their tendencies. Don't play like you don't know what they're capable of under, guise of, well, I'm a Moor, so I need to show don't even go there. Right? If it's, like something colossal, where there's a slight chance that you might lose. If there's a slight chance, if there's a slight doubt, the light will go out, and it's not going to be their light. Just go ask all the guys, stateless guys, right? So do take the time to study writs. Information's out there from Moors that are competent to write writs, to do, blog talk shows, sisters standing on law shows, civil alert radio shows, where they talk about writs and the importance of writs and writing them and making sure you write them, and spelling and astrology and making sure you write writs. And you want to be writing no writs is Mercury retrograde or nothing like that. You want to make sure your things are being done in alignment with your spirit. Okay, you're doing stuff off, then the outcome is going to be off naturally. I mean, if you plant in June, July, look for too much stuff. But and with regard to having the mentality that you're a Moor and you want to try stuff or exercise things or whatever, but you don't have any paperwork or whatever that, maybe it's time for you to start getting on the proclaiming and declaring, and letting all these clowns know about your status before you go out there trying stuff just based on the mentality. Because it's mentality first, what I mean, which is good that you're studying and you got these tickets and asking questions about certain things, and you're feeling like you shouldn't deal with it because you've been studying and you have conviction that I think I'm on the right path with this, and these people don't have jurisdiction. I mean, that's a good place to be in first before you get carded and whatever like that. So, maybe it's time for the next level up. Where instead of giving them their 75 whatever, take that, go get your stuff taken care of. So, and then you go deal with them. Because it ain't really nothing that 70. Tickets like that, fight those red light ticket, that the defense, even status is really the first defense, but let's just say you go into the jurisdiction, the defense is it's corpus delicti, where's the injured party, or you need to see your accuser. So if a red light could come to court, and prove that you ran it, and you got the camera back up his position, right? Then you might have to pay, because I heard cameras cameras don't lose cases. Everybody pays those. You know what I mean? The red light camera, they don't lose cases, and they don't even got a lawyer. They beat everybody up. They got a good defense. they saw. And I saw him run the red light. You did, camera? Yeah, you did it, I swear. Oh yeah, you gotta pay us 75. Well, ladies people play stupid stuff. Don't play stupid. Fight everything. If it's not, you're not gonna lose too big, just fight it. Let's see what happens. They might just bring it down just because you fought. You know. One more question. Noble Joyly established the Moorish Science Temple of America and incorporated it as a religious organization under the Religious Corporation Act 1872. Give more insight, clarity as to how Moors not in the Moorish Science Temple of America come under that umbrella, since he did that for the Moorish Science Temple. Now, the Moorish Science Temple is a specific jurisdiction. Noble Joyly told the Moors that this is your Moorish divine and national movement. So this is your Moorish divine and national movement, right? When he incorporated, the Moorish Science Temple of America, he did not dissolve its civic duties. Right? And religion is government. Religion is astrology, cosmology. Religion is not what, religious organization. That's not, people's mentality is, Vatican, church, whatever, that's their mentality. Remember, they said it in the Mukarrabin files, that the Moorish philosophy is psychological. The Moorish philosophy is psychological. The Moorish philosophy is changing your frame of mind, of how you look at things. So, him establishing the Moorish Science Temple, right, out of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, what the issue that Moors are dealing with regard to the Moorish Science Temple of America is that the Moorish Science Temple of America stopped doing like what the Moors Order of the Round Table is doing, and what Great Seal is doing, and what Moorish Heritage and History School is doing, and what Sons of Allah is doing, and what any other of the active Moors are doing. That's what the issue is. The issue is that they're supposed to be on this like what we're on. If they say they're Moorish Science Temple, they're not supposed to be on some religion about religious corporation act and all that type of stuff. Act is not no law. Joyly told the Moors, enforce the Constitution. Divine warning to the nations. He didn't talk about no religious act of nothing. He didn't talk about no Herds Revised Statute in divine warning to the nations. Okay. Herds Revised Statute is mentioned in our authority on the back of 1-1 questionnaire, right? Constitution's mentioned in divine warning to the nations. Which one are you going to go with? And you have to go with one. Which one are you going to go with? You're going to go with constitutional enforcement in order to save nations from a divine warning, or you're going to go with a mere our authority? And don't forget, it's not a divine warning to the Moors, a divine warning to, the brothers and sisters in the temple. This is a divine warning to the world, that every man must proclaim their free national name, or the worst is yet to come, which we're seeing right now. So we can't say that, people follow stuff. We didn't follow anything. Everybody, 50-hand guy, dropped the ball. Clearly dropped the ball. Divine warning to the nation deals with constitutional enforcement. Nothing in there about some religious something that we need to get down religion. Enforce the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. Right? Ask the officials in the government, and ask them in turn to give you a favorable reply. But if we're gonna act like we're in darkness, if we're gonna act like we're in darkness, right? Then clearly we weren't brought into the marvelous light. So don't get caught up in, I have to the Moorish Science Temple in order to, that's, you need to get down with Moors that are active and constitutionally and civic minded. Because go to the Moorish Science Temple of America and still get jerked around. Because the perspective is that, yeah, that's the authority. Hey, the authority. This is nationhood. That's just a consulate. This consulate is just a building. That's not superior to anything. It's a building. School happens there, worship happens there, proclamations of whatever, declarations of whatever happens there, I pay some dues or something. Like, it's really about being with a body of Moors that are civic, constitutional minded. And if you're the one, like we say, then that means you're it. So if you're it in the jurisdiction where you're at, start printing up some flyers or whatever, use your house, use your basement, whatever, and start getting this word out that these people are proclaiming their nationality, and start studying and getting to know their self for real, because it's pretty much on right now. And these people don't know what they're getting. And if we know that we're, kind of trapped, if you will, because, where we are, there's nothing here, or there's only 2 Moors here, and then you 2 Moors are going to be the ones. Like, there's only 2 Moors in Canaanland. In 08, there was only 2 Moors in Canaanland. Conscious Moors knew about their nationality and birthrights with nationality cards. Right? And now there's Moors in Germany or whatever. There's Moors in Switzerland, Barbados, UK. Right? So, we're at the point right now where, if really and truly, if you say that you're Moor, if you say that you're about nationality and birthrights and helping your people and making sure they know about this or whatever, then be what you know, right? And Noble Drew Ali was also a professor, which means on top of all the prophet stuff and whatever that he did, he also took time to teach. The guy with, like, the hats, and then the hats are just going up like this because you just have to wear every hat. That's what it, unfortunately, that's what it is, because 50 hand high dropped the ball. Right? And if you know that guy over there dropped the ball, and he's not saying sorry, he lost the game, nothing like that. You go to the bench, sit down at Gatorade, yeah. It was a good game today, or whatever, go change, shower, or whatever. Nobody's hazing this guy for losing the stuff, dropping the ball. You know what I mean? So, just start small. Start with, like I was telling the Moor in Montreal. You know what I mean? Start with a study group. You know, one night a week. Somebody's house, community center, library, little room. You know, get yourself a portable DVD player. So you play DVDs anywhere you go. You know, they just put a DVD player down there. You know, you get some external speakers, pop those bad boys in, plug that in, bam, and then there you go, study group. You know, or book club. You know, all these books that we got from RV Bay. You know, start up a book club. Make up some flyers. Yeah, book club, my house, 7 o'clock. See how much people come. You know what I mean? And whoever comes, you know, there's the Moors. Nobody comes, hey, then that's your nation state exercise. Because you don't have a nationality to just, you know, do nothing. You know, you have a nationality, and you know about your nationality and birthrights is for us to tell people, let them know. You know what I mean? They got this vast estate, they got this profit they don't even know about. You know what I mean? You know, and whoever doesn't care, like we said, those people are backpedalers, and we're not going to get backpedalers because they're just getting you further back, especially if they've been backpedaling forever. Who's gonna go get them? Who's going back all that way to go get a backpedaler, tell him pedal the right way? Yeah, yeah, right. So Islam to all the Moors, peace, love, and hotep. This might be the new flex Wednesdays, but I'll let you know next week. We're still tentative for Tuesday, but if nothing's going on Tuesday, then we're gonna go on Wednesday again, and that might just be the new day until this thing eases up a little bit, you know. Mm-hmm. So Islam Wars, don't forget rvbaypublications.com. Don't forget the Khalifa Media. Make sure you go get Brother Rami Salam L's book, um, um, morriscivilletter.net. Make sure you go get some etymology DVDs from Brother Abdullah L. Talib Mozi Bey. For all the Moors out there looking for connection to masonry information, you know, that's where to go. Don't forget he has the paper as well, Masonic Gate. Subscribe to the paper. You can order the paper online, morriscivilletter.net. You know, and don't order one paper, you know, order a bundle of papers, like, you know, come on, you know what I'm saying? Don't order one paper. Come on. Don't just go to RVB, oh yeah, I like this book, I'll just get one book. Like, you know what I mean? Support the cause. Don't you know, Iron Sheik, Will of Allah, and, you know, just buy Iron Sheik 5 because that's out. But you never heard none of the other albums and don't get those. You know, go get those too. You know, because we're out here for y'all. Doing this for y'all. Islam to all the Moors. Peace, love, and hotep. We'll close out with the prayer. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Peace, love, and hotep, Moors. Continue to study, study, study. And don't forget, rvbaypublications.com. That's your online university right there. Don't let these Moors, you know, these dirty Moors try to sway you from studying. You know what I mean? Make sure you study. Study, study, study. And you already know the rest. Islam, Moors.